Ryomen Sukuna and Madara Uchiha. Two of the most overwhelming presences in all of anime history. What I mean by this is they are both at the very top of their own respected verses. Not a single person is capable of comparing to them or even touching them, giving them any sort of challenge. Madara Uchiha was introduced pretty late into the story of Naruto. We got mentions of him pretty early on in the series. However, we got our first real introduction during the final arc of Naruto, that being the 4th Great Ninja War. And just off of first glance, we could already tell that Madara was a different beast. He was another animal. He took on an entire shinobi army by himself and was able to beat all of them with zero difficulty. He had Kages like Gaara questioning if he was a god by his sheer raw power. He by himself was able to embarrass the 5 Kage, even insulting them, asking if they wanted him to use Susanoo or not. Madara was so overpowered that they had to get Obito, one of the main villains, to turn to the side of the good guys in order for the good guys to have more of a chance against Madara. And even Obito's help did not really do much at all. Madara was still completely dominating the battlefield. They had to reanimate the previous Hokages to fight Madara. Madara was able to kill both the Deuteragonist and the main character in the span of a few chapters. Even though Madara wasn't around for a long time, he was truly running through the entire Naruto gauntlet by himself, taking every single person out. No one was able to stand any sort of chance against him, and he cemented himself as one of the, if not the strongest person in all of Naruto by just being around for the last arc. Sukuna, on the other hand, was introduced to us in the very first chapter, and for a good chunk of the story, we really didn't know how to gauge Sukuna's actual strength. For starters, Sukuna was not at full strength for majority of the story. He started off at 1 finger, then at Shibuya he got up to 15 fingers, and for a while he was just stuck at 15 fingers. And then when Sukuna did get up to 20 fingers worth of strength, our first impression of 20 finger Sukuna was him getting worked by Gojo Satoru and him having to 3v1 Gojo. So we didn't really have the best first impression of 20 finger Sukuna. He definitely did not leave as great of an impression as Madara did in his first introduction. However, ever since he reincarnated into his Heian era form, he has been on a whole nother level, and he has been putting up a generational performance just like Madara had. As I just mentioned, Sukuna is putting up generational numbers right now. The guy may have had a pretty rough performance against Gojo, but that was by far his toughest fight. And ever since he has beaten Gojo, it has been smooth sailing for him. The guy was able to easily beat Kashima within the span of 2 chapters, somebody who's hailed to be the strongest person of his own generation, proceeded to completely embarrass Higuruma, somebody who was stated to have talent that rivaled Gojo Satoru himself. The guy had Higuruma on his knees, telling him to heal, had a little rough patch while fighting Yuta and Yuji, but was able to quickly recover and take both Yuta and Yuji out of commission, the 2 main characters of Jujutsu Kaisen, and we don't even know if Yuta is alive or not right now. And just recently, he completely destroyed Maki in a 1v1 fight, splattering her against the side of a building after landing a black flash. Sukuna has taken so many sorcerers out that the only threat that he faces now is Kusekabe out of all people. I mean, Madara did great, but Madara still had to face characters like Naruto and Sasuke. Sukuna has put up numbers so big that he has taken every major threat out of the series. However, the main reason I'm making this video is because I want to talk about if Sukuna is going to suffer the same fate as Madara. It's commonly believed within the Naruto community that the main reason why Kaguya was introduced into the story along with Black Zetsu was because Madara was so powerful that Kishimoto had written himself into a corner. He needed to introduce a stronger character in order to write Madara out of the story. I personally do not believe that at all. I think Madara could have very easily been beaten by Naruto and Sasuke, and that Kishimoto had not written himself into a corner at all, but that's a topic for another video. My point is Gege Akutami writing himself into a corner with Sukuna's character? Is Sukuna now too overpowered? Can he not be beaten at all? Because as I've previously mentioned, Sukuna has taken every major threat out of the story. The only person left now is Kusekabe, and that's not even because he's a threat. He's just literally the last one standing. So a lot of people are wondering, is Sukuna going to have a similar conclusion to Madara? Is he also going to get written out of the story in a BS sort of way? And this isn't helped by the fact that it's literally stated in chapter 252 that Sukuna is still holding back in terms of strength. So people are wondering if Sukuna is currently holding back and demolishing every single person in Jujutsu Kaisen, what hope do they have for when Sukuna stops holding back? Personally, I don't think Sukuna is going to get written out of the story in a bad way, and I don't think Gege Akutami is writing himself into a corner. Now, it is true, Sukuna is holding back, and there are still things that we haven't seen Sukuna use that we know he has. Most prominently, his black box technique. Last time we saw him use it was during Shibuya, and we haven't seen it since. So you might be wondering, how in the world could they possibly beat Sukuna if everyone is practically done for? Well, my answer to you is the main character, Yuji Itadori. He is going to be the one that beats Sukuna. We may be in the final arc of Jujutsu Kaisen, but we still barely know anything about Yuji Itadori. We don't know what Kenjaku was planning with him. We don't know what Kenjaku's experiment was with him. We don't know what his main abilities actually are. We've had no explanation about anything regarding Yuji Itadori. He is still by far the biggest mystery in Jujutsu Kaisen and easily the biggest trump card. Also, you guys are forgetting that Akutami has been setting up Yuji to be able to use Sukuna's abilities since the very start of the story. So the fact that he has not done it yet means that he is going to do it once he comes back to fight Sukuna once he's fully recovered. So it is still definitely 100% possible for the main cast to beat Sukuna without Gege Akutami pulling something that people would say is a Kishimoto with what he did to Madara. So Sukuna is 100% a new generation Madara. They are practically the same character, just different generations. But Sukuna will definitely not suffer the same fate as Madara's character did, because there is still so much we don't know about our main character, Yuji Itadori. Anyways, with all that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and make sure to like and subscribe, and let me know what other videos you guys want to see in the future. Hope you all have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you guys on the next one.